Now, let me ask you this. I'm always curious when I talk to a convert because it seems oftentimes, not always the case, that the Protestants are better at getting out there, speaking about their faith, and sometimes the Catholics tend to be a little bit quieter, and especially in light of the election and things that are going on politically, I think there is a big need, and I'm becoming more and more aware of it, that Catholics need to stand up and speak out. We have the fullness of truth, but so many of us are just holding on to it. And so is this part of the mission, is just kind of getting people out of their shell, teaching them what they have, and getting them out there and kind of shaking up the culture?
Absolutely. The culture needs to be shook, and the church needs to be the head. The Protestants don't need to be leading the way. They need to walk in the fullness. And I feel like there are so many converts, and of course people find out we're converts. They're going, yeah, I converted. And as Protestants, they have a desire to share their faith. We see that me and others like me, converts that come, we want our fellow believers to know the truth that we have. Of course, we tend to be a little overpowering because we're Catholics now.
We have a lot of power.
We have a lot of power.
I'm looking at the K-Team's goals. I guess one of them is an exponential growth in the number of young people involved in apostolic activities, which we've kind of spoken about a little bit. Another one, a flourishing of charismatic communities around the world. Is this a charismatic organization per se?
Most of the time you'll find that it is charismatic. Everywhere that YWAM works, they've actually worked a lot in Brazil, in the Catholic Church. We have a group from our base in Garden Valley that works with the Catholic Church in El Salvador. They leave Monday, again, for the work that they do down there. Pretty much we've found, Youth with a Mission, all over the world that Catholics do tend to be charismatic. Not so much in the U.S. as they are everywhere else, but for Youth with a Mission, it is exactly what you're comfortable with. They want to only work within the parameters that you are the most comfortable with. That would be your local parish or diocese, whatever.
Now, you talked about this is kind of new over here stateside, as you say, in the United States, but obviously much more active over in Europe. In fact, my wife, as you know, was very involved in it over in, Holland and in parts of Europe. So obviously it's been successful over there. Any anecdotal stories of how things are going over there that inspired you to want to start it up over here?
Absolutely. We have seen, especially with my daughter leaving for Slovakia, that as Catholics and our children coming in as converts, they need to see that the Catholic youth are alive and well, and that they are happy and knowing and growing in their faith. So this has been a real encouragement to my daughter, especially, she's 24, that as she's been there in Europe, she sees a very much alive Catholic community.
And the fact is, you mentioned YWAM, which is kind of the umbrella group, I guess you could say, is not specifically Catholic, and so, but what you're doing is specifically
Ours
Catholic,
is
and so that whole relationship I don't 100% understand, but that's okay. But I want to ask you about there's an initiative and a goal of reconciliation between Christian churches, which of course is a goal of the Catholic Church. And so tell us about that. How does maybe a group like this work to bring all Christians together so that we would hopefully be unified one day?
Well, we know that in our daughter's school, there are Protestants there who desire to work with Catholics. They also are looking and searching for more truth themselves, so they are turning right around and asking the deep questions. What are the sacraments? How come you believe the Eucharist? All the Catholic questions that you must understand and believe in order to really be in full fellowship with the Church. The Catholics that we see are hungry to understand their faith, share their faith, and then Protestants turn around, and if they see that these guys really do know, young people are aware and understanding of what they believe, they feel secure enough to know that neither one are trying to convert the other. We know the Lord is the only one that does that, but that we'll be able to share with them and work together on the things that we do agree on. Right now, the Youth with a Mission group that has worked in a local parish in Tyler, they all have Catholic relatives, and they just want to understand better what's going on with this, and they're not getting into the controversial things by any means, but they're open to listening and understanding and learning more, because we just want to share Jesus a personal relationship with the Lord, and we know the Lord is going to have those people grow in a fuller understanding.
Yeah. Now, that was what I was going to say. I hope that in coming in contact with Catholics, especially fired up Catholics, that these non-Catholics would see in us something that would compel them to want to learn more about the Catholic Church. And if they want to come in, we're there welcoming them with open arms.
Can I share one more story?
Of course.
I have a lot of these kids. Now, I'm an old lady. I'm 50. On Sundays, we share our home. We open our home to a lot of kids from all different kinds of faith, and we feed them. You know, food gets a long way. Yeah. Now, we don't talk about being Catholic. They see the crucifix. They see the rosary beads. They see all the Catholic material. They just are happy to be in a home. As a result of that, we find out, oh, my grandma was Catholic. Mm-hmm. Oh, my dad was raised Catholic. I mean, on and on and on. I had a boy who really put our family through the ringer, and we love him like a son. He just couldn't understand why we were Catholic. He went to El Salvador and began to work with the El Salvadorian Catholic Church. He didn't want to let us know. He ended up getting so curious about so many things because he loved the people so much. He calls from El Salvador with 1 million new questions, really just asking for understanding.
Yes.
So it was wonderful to be able to share with him, and as a result, they're going back. The group is going back, new different team, back into El Salvador this coming Monday. Same boy. Now he's the leader of that team.
Oh, wow. Praise God. Okay, got about another minute, maybe 2 minutes at the most, so let's get some of the specifics down. You are based in the Tyler Diocese, and how are you funded? I assume there's got to be some fundraising aspect to this. Is there a website where people can go and visit and learn more about what you guys are doing, or how can people learn more?
They can go to our website, AlanandLoriHarris.com, AlanandLori Harris, HARRIS.com, and get information there. That's probably the best way. I'm sure they could call the radio station.
Yeah, sure. We can get them in touch with you as well. And how many people, or is it just the two of you, or how many people on staff, I guess?
Well, at that base, there are probably about 15 on staff at this time.
That are paid?
No, one is paid. We all raise our own support. This is lay ministry, and it is totally funded by people who believe in us and what we're doing.
All right. So what's you say there's something this weekend? Anything else coming up? Maybe somebody here locally wants to drive out to Tyler and get involved.
Just give us a call. You're welcome to go to our website. There's a section there where you can plug in your information, and we'll get back with you. We'll give you a personal call from us so you can ask all the questions. Also, we leave for India in January. We'll be gone for an international leadership training. We'd love your prayers and appreciate them very much. That's when we come back from that ministry training, that's when we'll really be able to go full force, looking for young people who want to join us and put their hands and feet to work and share the love of Jesus.
All right, Lori Harris, thank you so much. 15 minutes always goes by so quickly, but Alan, thank you so much. Alan's kind of like Penn and Teller, only one of you talks, but Alan is here as well. They are
Can't do without him.
The Kerygma teams of Youth with a Mission, and they are now at the YWAM Woodcrest base in Garden Valley, Texas. If you want to learn more about their Catholic apostolate, go to alanandloriharris.com, ALAN and LORIHarris.com. Lori, thank you for your time. God bless your mission, and I hope you have phenomenal success. God bless you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dave.